What if your income stayed exactly the same for the next 12 months and your financial life felt calmer? Not richer, calmer. Because most people assume the only way to feel more secure is to earn more money. More money, more clients, more hours, more pressure. But sometimes the problem isn't the amount of money coming in, it's the shape of the money going out. And if the shape is wrong, even a good income can feel like it disappears through a trapdoor. That's what this episode is about. How to build a stable cash flow without a pay rise, without a side hustle, and without cutting every tiny joy out of your life. Because the goal isn't to become a spreadsheet with shoes. The goal is calm. Part 1. Why cash flow feels chaotic. Here's what most people miss. Cash flow isn't just about how much you earn. It's about when money lands and when money leaves. Two people can earn the same annual income. One feels calm, the other feels panicked. Same salary, completely different nervous system. Why? Because one person's outgoings are smooth and predictable. The other person's outgoings arrive in spikes, and spikes are what create chaos. This is why budgeting often feels like it doesn't work. You're not failing at budgeting. You're living with cliffs. A cliff is when your bank balance looks fine until it suddenly doesn't. Car rego, insurance renewal, a dentist bill, a school cost you forgot was coming. Christmas, arriving like a surprise despite having the audacity to happen on the same date every single year. If your bank balance has plot twists every month, you don't need a bigger salary first. You need fewer cliffs. And here's the important part. Cliffs aren't bad luck, they're just unplanned predictability. Everything on that list, you knew it was coming, you just haven't built it into a system yet. That's the shift. When I say cash flow is the new job security, I don't mean more streams of income. I mean building a financial structure that doesn't collapse every time life sends you a normal, predictable bill wearing a fake mustache. Part 2. The 3 building blocks of stable cash flow. Stable cash flow is built from 3 things: predictable outgoings, reduced volatility, a buffer that absorbs your shocks. That's it. Not glamorous, not viral, but it works. And frankly, boring systems are underrated. Boring systems are why your lights turn on every day. Nobody makes a TikTok about electricity infrastructure, but try living without it. Building block 1. Make your outgoings predictable. Most people think their cash flow problem is a spending problem. It usually isn't. The stress most often comes from irregular expenses that ambush you. So the first job is simple. Turn ambush expenses into planned expenses. Here's the mental shift. Instead of thinking, why does this keep happening to me? You think, this happens every year. I just haven't built it into a system yet. Car rego isn't an emergency. It's a calendar event. Insurance isn't random. It's predictable. Birthdays aren't a surprise attack. They happen on the same date every year. So you create a holding account. Call it annual bills, future you, the cliff fund, whatever makes it real. Then you drip feed it every pay cycle. If rego is $800 a year, you don't wait until the notice arrives and panic. You set aside $15 a week. That's it. That doesn't feel dramatic, but it removes a cliff. And every cliff you remove gives you back calm. Building block 2, reduce volatility. Volatility is the up and down. A week where you feel fine and then suddenly you're rationing groceries because something came out of nowhere. Most people try to solve volatility with willpower. I just need to be more disciplined. But willpower is not a system. Volatility drops when you reduce 2 specific types of pressure: fixed cost pressure and debt pressure. When fixed costs are high, every month becomes high stakes. When debt pressure is high, your cash flow gets consumed before you've made a single active choice about it. Here's a line worth remembering. Reliable beats heroic. If your financial life requires a perfect month to function, it isn't stable, it's fragile. So the goal is not cut everything enjoyable. The goal is to reduce the monthly commitments that turn ordinary life into a tightrope. Look at subscriptions you've forgotten about. Look at convenience spending that's really exhaustion spending. Look at repayment structures keeping you locked in a loop. Not with shame, with strategy. Because shame keeps you stuck. Strategy moves you forward. Building block 3. Build a buffer that absorbs shocks. Think of a financial buffer like suspension in a car. Without it, every bump in the road becomes a crisis. With it, bumps are still annoying, but they stay in control. A buffer stops you from having to solve every surprise with panic, credit, or chaos. And here's what most people don't expect. A buffer isn't just a financial tool, it's a behavior tool. Because when you have even a small margin, your brain stops firing danger signals every 5 minutes. That reduces emotional spending, that improves decision making, that builds self-trust. A buffer doesn't just change your bank account, it changes your posture. You negotiate differently, you respond rather than react. You make decisions from a place of steadiness instead of desperation. And that steadiness, that's what financial security actually feels like. Not a number, a feeling. Before we close, here's a simple filter for any financial decision going forward. Does this increase my options or increase my obligations? Options create stability. Obligations create pressure. Your goal isn't a perfect budget. Your goal is a system that survives real life. Because real life is unpredictable. Your structure doesn't need to be.